After a long summer break, Formula Sim Racing is back in action at the thrilling Spa-Francorchamps, with famous corners such as the flat-out Blanchiment, the fast left-hander of Tuson, and of course the famous uphill left-right of Eau Rouge. Spa has a firm place in motorsport history. ACR returned from their summer break where they left off. However, this time it was Martin Gosby on pole ahead of Robin Panzar in second. Championship leader Jene Simoncic starts third ahead of Janis Brakshock, and a career best fifth for Jos Araneda. Ricardo Costa lines up sixth ahead of Mohamed Patel, who returns to the top 10 for the first time since Canada. Teammate McGlade D'Alessandro qualified in 8th, with Michi Hoyer and Daniel Kish rounding out the top 10. Better Burlak was disappointed with 12th, but not as disappointed as David Mrocek, who, shockingly, only qualified 16th. It's been a difficult week for Netrex and Invictus, whose regular drivers were unavailable, with the latter only being able to run one car. Viktor Ivanov, Bojan Bogdanov and Kostas Galanamatis race as reserves, with the latter making their career debut in the World Championship. After a long summer break, would ACR continue their winning streak? Lights out and Gosby got away well, but it was wheel to wheel between Panzar and Simoncic. But Panzar missed his braking and ran wide. He rejoined side by side with Patel, but his refusal to yield dug his hole even deeper and he went across the gravel. Down the Kemmel straight, and the fast starting Costa attempted to overwhelm the battling ACRs, but he didn't quite manage. Until his perseverance paid off at Rivage. Lap 2 and Simoncic appeared to be struggling as he was passed by Brakshock on the Kemmel straight. Lap 6 and David Mrocek was trying to make progress after his poor qualifying. However, no one expected this early in the race. It was pit stop time. Brakshock pitted at the end of lap 6, with the majority of the Ultrasoft runners pitting a lap later. However, Simoncic encountered more difficulties as he rejoined behind the Netrex of Galanamatis. But with his use of DRS, the problem was solved. Meanwhile, the battle for fourth between Hoyer, Burlak and Fournier, all of whom yet to stop, all got a little too close for comfort. Luckily, all three cars continued. Gosby was still leading and was looking in control, but something has happened and he's had to park. A technical issue with the steering wheel has struck the Brit. This cannot be happening. Eventually he continued, but the issue turned out to be terminal and there was no way he could continue. A massive blow to his championship chances. This promoted Ricardo Costa to the lead, but the soft tyre shod Petter Burlak's late stop raised many eyebrows. Was he two-stopping? Costa pitted for a second of 3 stops on lap 19, and a good outlap was crucial to stay ahead of Simoncic. However, Patel was right on his tail, quite literally, and he drafted past with DRS on the Kemmel straight. Costa fought hard for the vital clear air, but he simply couldn't find a way past the Jean Alesi eSports car. Indeed, being stuck behind Patel cost the Aramilla as Simoncic rejoined well ahead of the battling Patel and Costa. Now Brakshock joined in on the party as both swarmed the Jean Alesi eSports driver. However, that wasn't supposed to happen. Costa rejoined, but Patel was out of the race due to damage. Brakshock was held up by the battle and then found himself jumped by D'Alessandro, who was now second. The Ghost Speed driver then found himself under pressure from the ground effect of Jos Araneda, who used the DRS to get past on the Kemmel straight. Lap 26 and Simoncic had caught up to the edge of Burlak. If Burlak was two-stopping, this pass was crucial, and he got the job done on the Kemmel straight. When he pitted for a second stop, he rejoined well ahead of the edge driver. The win looked to be his. However, D'Alessandro did not quite manage to get the jump. Meanwhile, at the back of the points, Panzer had recovered to 9th after his lap 1 woes, but his tyres were fading and he was passed by the flag-to-flag of an Eric Andre. Now Fournier was on the prowl, but contact forced Panzer across the chicane. He was now under pressure from Michaels, but the flag-to-flag gets hit by Ivanov. Panzer's tyres had completely had it and he was overwhelmed by the net wrecks on the Kemmel Straight. It was the final lap and D'Alessandro had been sitting behind Burlack since he rejoined. Burlack fitted the Super Softs which gave him an early advantage, but his tyres were now fading. On the Kemmel Straight, the Jean Alesi eSports car used DRS to good effect and passed the edge for second. Meanwhile, back at the front, it was a familiar story. Jene Simoncic was unstoppable once he took the lead. The win puts him in striking distance of securing the championship. Quite literally, a win at Monza would seal it. Michele D'Alessandro returns to the podium, having not scored since Canada, ahead of Petter Burlack, who, despite being passed on the last lap, made good use of strategy. It was massive celebrations for Jos Araneda and Ground Effect as he took his and the team's highest points haul from a race. Daniel Kish finished in 5th ahead of the ghost speeds of Brakshock and Lukaszek. Ricardo Costa finished in 8th, but a 15-second time penalty drops him all the way down to 13th. This promotes Fournier to 8th, Andre to 9th and Ivanov into the final point. It's all looking good for Jene Simoncic as with a 93-point gap a win would secure the title in Monza. Michele D'Alessandro's return to the podium sees him move back ahead of Jeffrey Fournier for 5th, whilst Janis Brakshock moves up to equal 7th with David Mrocek. In the Constructors, the main ACR team still leads the way whilst Edge have closed the gap to ACR Blue as a result of the latter failing to score. GoSpeed move ahead of NetRex whilst Ground Effect have made huge gains as a result of Jos Areneda's 4th place, who are now up to 8th. Thank you very much for watching this video. Highlights of the Italian Grand Prix at Monza that took place on the 15th of September will be available soon, but the live stream is available to watch on this channel. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more Formula Sim Racing content.